Hey, it's Jared here from Crypto Plan. How is everyone going? I hope everyone has had a great weekend. Fairly cold where I am, but I managed to get out in the water and had a surf today. So fairly happy to get into the great outdoors considering we are still locked down. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my life. We're here to talk about cryptocurrencies. And as you may have seen from the thumbnail, I'm kind of projecting a little bit of weakness and just holding on for some patience, for some buying opportunities in the future, because I do see a lot of signals that say there's more of a correction to come in general in the altcoins and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets in general. Now, there is some outliers and there is some things that are kind of propping up the market, I guess. A couple of players that are doing well while the others aren't doing so well. But we'll go into that in detail in the video. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the video if you are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet. And also, please click that notification bell if you want to be notified when this content comes out immediately. All right, so we're on the Bitcoin chart right now on a daily, and I'm just the theme of today is going to be what's the short-term trend on the daily of the price and the short-term trend of the RSI, and just trying to connect some dots and see what's happening, right? So, and then I guess looking at our volume and our distance from moving average as well. So Bitcoin is in a corrective channel, so it's a bullish pattern, so it's gone up a lot, so it's correcting downwards in this channel, which is normal, and we understand that that's happening. But I guess just seeing that this channel here, and that we are we're not wedging in, we're kind of in no man's land there. So there's still that opportunity that it breaks lower out of this channel and corrects lower, or just grinds its way through until this kind of intersection point, where it needs to make a decision. Is it going to continue along with this shorter term trend that has started since October? Or is it going to try and reach a little bit lower and find another path or a new path forwards? And then we've got this green line here, which I don't believe it'll ever reach towards that right now, but just having this line here, that's the all-time data floor, support level trend line, which I've drawn. So if we were going back into the weekly, we could see there that, so that's kind of where we're at. So all-time data, that's the floor, I guess, the lower support level, and then we've got the upper resistance level there. So I'll just drag that up. So we're kind of in the middle of that larger channel. So in this bull run, it could go up to 180, 200, 200,000 easily, and it could also find its way back there to the 20,000s at the end of the bull run. So this is our kind of long-term channel, but what we're looking at is the short-term channel, just for finding the right time to buy at the moment. Because I think if you're already in the game, and you're like me, you've got pretty decent positions, you just kind of want to maximize the next purchases you make, right? So you want to make sure you get in at the lowest possible so that it's all profit from there, So see the Bitcoin there is in that downward bull flag thing, and the RSI is agreeing with that, and it's in a downward channel. So I either want to see the RSI break, and I hopefully see the RSI break first, and then that will lead to price action breaking, or they both break at the same time, and that'll kind of confirm that Bitcoin is either attempting to reverse, as in a fake out, or it's actually going to reverse. So its trend at the moment, which is downward and bearish. Ethereum, there's a bit of a divergence on the chart there. So it's showing a bullish price action. So it's saying I've flagged up, and then I'm also penneting, or flagging. My pole is vertical, and then my flag is also on the uptrend, but the RSI is telling us a different story, which sometimes says that this is due for a turn. So I believe, and I've said it in previous videos, that Ethereum could dip back below as low as kind of this level here, maybe, the 750s, even down into this zone here. Just for a retest, and that would be perfectly normal, and then it would fire on out of there. So if you're planning on buying Ethereum, once again, maybe the price isn't reflecting its value right now, as in it's going down the RSI. Now, if this RSI breaks this channel in the next day or two and the price keeps going up, then sure, that proves that we're not going to have that deeper correction that I'm expecting. But if this RSI keeps trending down and the price action's going sideways, I do predict it will drop a little bit, and then the bears sell out, or the bearishness of the chart will cause the bulls to come back in strong, because I think a lot of people watch this kind of pattern break out of all-time highs, and then a retest of below the all-time highs before it fires out, and there's that cup and handle thing, which a lot of people are doing as well, where it's a cup and will it handle down and then fire on out of there. So that's kind of what everyone's looking for, and it's just not showing it in the price action. So I guess maybe, there's other factors at play there, that maybe people are trying to catch Ethereum as the next Bitcoin, or just knowing that when it breaks out of all-time highs, it's going to move quickly. Maybe there's a few people that are early to the game, but we'll see. XRP is a kind of a weird one at the moment, because its short-term data is a little bit manipulated. I probably think it should be somewhere in the 40s, and if not, bounced up a bit further. But because of the SEC thing, people in the US are scared, so it kind of takes a big chunk of the market away. But anyway, same deal, showing that the RSI is bearish, and it just needs to break that RSI, and the price action hopefully will follow that. If we can kind of get back above the 57 range there in the RSI, then we're going to kind of look at turning that corner and maybe taking another leg up after a long consolidation after that massive correction that happened. Now, before that happens, also, there could be a dip, there could easily be another dip down into 21, 22, and then firing out of there. So it's definitely a wait and watch one. I think where it's at now is above my cost basis, so I would have to be looking for it to dip down below that in the 20s, below 22 at least, for any more accumulation in XRP for me. XLM, similar story, massive flag, bearish, or bull flag on the downward channel. Might just kind of zoom in a bit more there. So it's a bull flag on the down channel. So once again, RSI is going down, price action's going down. There's still that potential of, so it tested a bottom here. I think, another bottom there, or something that happened over here where it's kind of that last little jab down to connect with its yearly moving average there. But then, like I say, potentially even going further into the 15 cents there in kind of the middle of this range, just to test the price range again, to fill the gap, and then fire on out of there. So once again, Stellar, if you're looking to buy, I would wait and see what plays out in the next few days. Now, if you are dollar cost averaging, there's no harm. You're still cheaper than that 40-cent mark, which it pumped to. So it's not like you're buying it at the premium of premiums at the moment. But I still think that given the RSI is downtrending and it's in the middle of that channel, and the price action is downtrending and it's in the middle of that channel, I think it's going to take one more dip before it fires on out of there. THETA, the same thing, downward RSI, downwards SMA 50, downward volume. So, all the hype, this is where accumulation and then price action, which is, everyone jumps on it, everyone wants to be a part of it, and then it's taking that correction before the next leg up, right? So I think that theta could potentially have quite a large dip. It could even test these 77 levels down here in this accumulation zone before it fires on out of there. And once again, the RSI is probably going to be the indicator I'm looking at and see, this distance from simple moving average is going to be affected by the price action going above the yearly moving average. But yeah, right now, same deal. We're in the middle of a channel. We're not kind of, we're testing the upper edge of it as well as the lower edge of it constantly, with wicks. So there's a lot of price action going on there within a day. But yeah, you can see that there's that potential for it to go either way in the short term before essentially it fires on out of there with the rest of the crypto bull market when the alt season does occur. Zilliqa, same story. I think there's been a lot of action there. A lot of people bought into it. A lot of hype surrounding it, a lot of hope that it's going to be the next big project, and it probably will be. But you can see there's been a lot of upwards. So then naturally, what goes up has to correct. Flag there, and the RSI. Maybe a little bit more bullish there. It's kind of trying to test that upper range, and same with the price action, it's showing that. So it could break out. Maybe it's not the weakest of the altcoins in the sense that we could see another leg up. But still, the potential is that a daily candle close touches off there and then it goes bearish again back to the bottom edge of this channel. Once again, I'd be watching that RSI to actually break that channel before I would be confirming that it's going up again. Either way, if you're looking to trade it on the next swing up, that's your signal when it breaks out to fire it out, and hopefully it runs. And then you take the chunk out of the trade. But if you're just accumulating, I'd be waiting for a slightly lower price point. Maybe down in the 5 cents. Maybe if it dips down, if you're very patient, you could set a stop order for 3.5 cents there in this little accumulation zone. It might want to retest that. Cardano, yeah, I think I've been saying for a while that I think this wants to correct, and it's looking a little bit like Ethereum, where it's showing a bullishness in that flag, but it's showing a bearishness on the RSI. So generally, when this divergence occurs, this price action here will swing. Not a guarantee, but you've kind of got to sit on the sidelines here with these ones. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I have had taken some profits on Cardano. I would like to get a little bit back in if it ever dipped back down into the 17 cents range, just for a retest. It'd be lovely to kind of catch it and grab it. But if not, I'm happy that I took some profits on it, and I still hold some of Cardano. It was never my biggest bag anyway, so it's good to kind of have some cash on the sidelines for anything that I see at a heavy discount. Looking at the corrections that may be occurring. Did we look? We looked at the altcoin market minus Bitcoin. So once again, the total altcoin market is bullish. And I think Ethereum is propping that up, and maybe Polkadot, and maybe Cardano. Any of the ones that are not correcting like the others. But you can see that the total market cap minus Bitcoin is actually in a bearish downward channel on the RSI. So I think that's a key indicator for me. And I think that once again, if you look at this market cap as a flagpole and a flag up, I think it potentially could test this 224 billion level again, which is going to be the result of these corrections that I see. Short-term test, I think it's just going to be a wick. But yeah, there's that potential that kind of wicks down and then fires on up out of there. But it's just a wait and see, right? These are only, it's a probability game, and you can only say that in the past, this sort of signal has led to some corrections or some kind of buy the dip situations, but not always. VeChain, similar story, bullish on the price action side, but bearish on the RSI side. So, once again, there is a potential for this to either just go flat and consolidate and get this a bit flatter and kind of break out while it goes sideways, or give us another opportunity to get it in at 2 cents again. If it went below 2 cents, I would absolutely add to my position so much. Definitely. Litecoin, similar story, where the RSI and the price action is very similar, which just says to me that it's correcting, and it's probably got a little bit further to correct. I think it's either going to kind of break out by going sideways and just following this 128 level for a while, or it's going to retest maybe some of this 89 level just briefly before it fires on out of there. So that's kind of like a cross section of coins that are showing a very similar signal. Now, not every coin is showing that signal. So show DOT, RSI is pretty flat, price action's on the upwards, but recent price action is fairly flat. So there's no real divergence there, and there's no real kind of bearishness or bullishness in that flag. It's just kind of going horizontal. Link, kind of similar as well, fairly flat RSI, and the price action is generally in an upward channel since early January. So yeah, Link's not doing anything. ZRX, similar, like it's not super bullish in large price action, but it is generally up in a channel, and the RSI is kind of sideways, so it's not showing us that weakness or any divergence. Graph, I have to go back down to the 4-hourly now. There's a bit of down, there's a down channel-ish on graph on the RSI, but there's also the same thing here. So I think graph's just kind of finding where it wants to be before it takes off, as in it's a new project, it's kind of cupped around handle. Maybe it's just got to kind of just figure out where it wants to be in this section in accumulation zone, and then fire on out of there. So I think of any of the projects that you could potentially be buying now in small parcels, just to hedge on whether it does go up or down, is the graph. I think that anywhere kind of in this zone of 47 cents, 48 cents, and lower, obviously down to 38 cents, would be a lovely accumulation zone as far as I'm concerned. And that's kind of it. I don't want to go too crazy into every single project. I just wanted to show a good cross section of some of the coins that have been stronger recently, and just show that there's probably a little bit more correcting to go, and that the altcoin market in general and the total crypto market in general probably has a little bit more correcting to do. So, if we go back to that hourly, you can see that there's quite a steep decline in the total market cap because of Bitcoin's correction, but there's still further to go in that downside, to retest, so it's quite normal in markets when new all-time highs are tested, that the resistance or the support levels below it is retested as well before it fires out. I think the market kind of does its thing. It goes, oh, we're in new all-time high territory. A bullishness comes in, but then a bearishness comes in because some people are taking profits. So it's a bit of a tug of war going on right now. And, it's that kind of fear stage as well, where the speculation is like, well, I made profits. Do I just get out and sit on the sidelines now and see what happens? I don't want to be the leader and, the leader in a gain or a loss. I just want to wait and see what happens, or do people just kind of freak out and start moving their money around and making bad decisions, and then selling out and then buying back in later when they've made a loss and trying to get back in to catch the smallest part of the move. So who knows what actually goes on the psyche, but of an individual person to person. But I guess the charts show us psychology en masse, right? They show us a kind of a snapshot into the way the world thinks on a group at a group level from a psychology. So that's what's happening with the total altcoin market. Well, the total market cap is it's cupped around and it's doing its handle. So I do believe that the handle hasn't been fully played out yet, so there's going to be some, like I say, some bargains to be had and some further deeper corrections in Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't think XRP can correct much further, but yet, sure, why not? It can correct a bit more. Stellar definitely can correct. Theta, Zilliqa will correct. Cardano can correct, and VeChain can definitely correct, and Litecoin. The other ones, maybe not. Maybe they've got enough social sentiment to keep them grinding their way up. But, like I say, everything that goes up has to correct eventually. That's just the way markets work. Nothing ever goes in a straight line. Anyway, this one's got a bit long, but there's a lot in there. And I think for the person with a keen eye and listening to the story, they may potentially wait and see what happens, because I think the worst thing that the best thing that I've learned is that you can buy in when it's bullish, and that's great, and you just get bullish on it and you keep buying, but there comes a point in time where you got to go like, this is what happens, right? So if I get FOMO'd in and then it corrects, and then you kind of got to wait for it to dip below your entry point and then back up again, and that takes a long time. Whereas right now you've seen a bullishness, where all-time highs have been broken, and now you're seeing that cup handle being formed. So once that crypto market cap is touching that all-time high there of the 762, maybe that's the signal to kind of start looking at buying some things and seeing what's undervalued, and knowing that maybe that's the turning point, when that gets touched there, and then ideally that channel there gets broken to the upside, and then that signals the next big move in the cryptocurrency market, which is what we're all waiting for, right? Anyway, please like, subscribe, and click that notification bell if you've listened to the very end. And thank you very much if you have listened to the very end, because this was kind of not a detailed analysis on any individual chart, but just showing couple of charts to put together and saying that there's a signal there, there's something going on, that maybe it's a further correction in all of the price actions of a lot of these major altcoins. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Bye for now.